you're under the age of 18, don't fucking watch this video without mommy and daddy's permission. There's your fucking disclaimer. Hey guys, what's going on? TattsDeej here once again for Foreign Rage. This is a video response to TC71291. First thing I want to do, man, is thank you for doing this video, for having the courage to do this video, and for being man. And second of all, I want to commend you for having the balls to discipline your child and for having the balls to get up here and talk about it. Let me tell you something. I come from that old school discipline mentality. My dad was an old school Kentucky Southern boy, and by God, he was not afraid to get after it and spank that ass once in a while if we cut out a line as kids. I'm living proof that a good spanking once in a while works and timeout doesn't. I'm the oldest of 3 boys. I got 2 younger brothers. One 4 years younger than me, one 4 years younger than him. My dad tore my ass up when I needed it. Let me assure you of that right now. The middle one, once in a while, got his ass tore up when he needed it too. The baby barely, if ever, got his ass torn up. Matter of fact, I got mine torn up for shit he used to do because I wasn't keeping an eye on him. Okay? So, this is how the baby one went. Now, I want to ask you a little something. Guess which one of the 3 of us is currently in jail for grand theft and possession of a weapon? Yeah, that's right, the baby. The one who didn't get his ass whipped, the one who my dad at that point in time felt bad for and thought maybe he had screwed up with the older 2 kids and let my mom and all the other friggin', as you say, the activists, the fucking bleeding hearts, tell him that, oh, spanking your kid is wrong, it teaches them violence. No, the baby's in jail for committing a violent crime, and this is the one that never had his ass whipped. I'm living proof that a good swat on the butt works. The ass is there for 3 things: sitting, shitting, and hitting. You're not going to damage a kid by swatting him on the butt once in a while. The timeout thing is a fucking joke because, like you said, it doesn't teach him any consequences. There's no consequences. What, all I got to do is stand in a corner for 20 minutes? And no, it's not even 20 minutes. Now the new thing is, and this is bullshit, it's 1 minute for every year of life that they've been alive. So you got a kid who's 6 years old, they fuck up, you put him in a corner for 6 minutes? What the hell is that? Kids do 6 minutes in the corner standing on their heads. Jesus Christ. It's all these people that just want you to believe that spanking your kids is wrong. I guarantee, with all the problems in society today, kids, 16-year-old kids shooting and killing police officers, 16-year-old kids smoking, 16-year-old kids running the street with guns, doing drugs, alcohol, all this other crap. Not that we didn't do it when we were kids, not that our parents didn't do it when they were kids. However, if you look at the number of crimes being committed, the number of kids in jail right now, I guarantee you statistically, you can trace it back to when the ass beating was taken out of the home. I guarantee you. Nobody wants to do that study, though, because nobody wants to be wrong, and nobody wants to be the fucking bad guy, and it makes me sick. It just disgusts me to go through the store and see these kids sitting on the ground screaming at the top of their lungs because mommy won't buy them a candy bar. Hey, I want a candy bar now! No, it didn't work like that, Jackson, when I was a kid. If I ever tried to pull that crap in the store with my dad, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, I can assure you. And my mom, not that she was the toughest broad in the world, but my mom's favorite thing was, wait till your father gets home. And in my house, wait till your father gets home was as good as saying you'll be shot at dawn. You pretty much were going to piss your pants as soon as you heard my dad's truck pull in the driveway. You knew your ass was grass and he was the lawnmower. That was one of his favorite sayings when we got in trouble. I don't fucking get it. People need to take control of their kids. Quit letting kids run the show. My son, and I've told this story before, I'm going to rehash some stuff I did in a video a couple weeks ago. We were in a store one time, and my son kept putting his hands on stuff, I said, son, don't touch that. Son, don't touch that. After the 4th son, don't touch that, I had to reach out and grab him by the ear and yoke him up a little bit to get his attention. He stopped. and he looked at me, and he started crying, and there was a lady in front of us in line that muttered under her breath, "Oh, somebody's got an attitude problem." And I'm looking at her, and my wife is looking at me mortified. She's like, "I hope you know everybody in the store saw that." Fuck them. I'm the one raising my kids. It's like you said, I would rather go to jail for spanking my kid than have him go to jail because I didn't. And if people would get back to that mentality, take control of their lives again, and I guarantee you this will happen. When people start reintroducing an ass whipping into the home, the bleeding hearts will back off. The activists will back off. Because you know what? My dad's whole thing was, and this is the problem, this is part of the problem now. Kids are now under the impression of, if you put your hand on me, I'll just make a little phone call and they'll take me out of here. I got news for you, Jack. When I was a kid, there was no Department of Children and Families. There was no child services. Let them come. Let them come. And you know what? That's the way it is in my house. But I got news for you. If you call Department of Child Services on me and they come out to my house, you want to know what they're going to find? They're going to find two relatively happy kids with a refrigerator full of food in a clean house with a roof overhead. Why? Because I provide. My son came out the other day. I'll tell you another little story. And he said, "Hey, Daddy, give me that." I said, "Excuse me?" Now, this is the 6-year-old, mind you. I looked at him. I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Oh, sorry, Daddy. May I have that, please?" This is another problem. It's a two-pronged attack. It's not just putting your hand on the backside when they cut out a line. It's instilling in them the values that we were given as children. My dad always told me once, and we're getting on to your subject about, Ken, I know I'm bouncing around here, but we're getting on to your subject about the schoolyard fight. I can't tell you how many schoolyard fights I got into. You know what? But that's what we did. We went out, we duked it out. One kid took an ass whipping, the other one dealt the ass whipping, we went home. Nobody's parents called the police. Nobody went to jail. Occasionally the cops got called. Cops came out. They were a hell of a lot more lenient. They said, "Hey, look, you guys don't be doing this. Anybody busted up, anybody bleeding, anybody go to the hospital, no, no, no. Go home. Don't do it again." But also getting back to values. Kids nowadays need to learn yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, please, thank you. Hold the door open for people. Ladies first. What happened to all this? When did we lose this? It's like I said, it's not just the ass whipping that got taken out of the home. It's respect, it's values, it's simple fucking common courtesies that people are too lazy to teach anymore. And that's part of the problem as well. It's not just the friggin' activists. It's the lazy-ass parents who think that, "Oh, my God, I've got a kid now. Okay, he's up and walking. He's on his own." No, once you get your ass knocked up, whether you were planning on having kids or not planning on having kids, you've now got to deal with it for the next 18 years. It's not a part-time job. It's not a per diem job. It's not a, "Hey, I'll take them out and play with them when I..." No, it's not like that. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week of cleaning their face, wiping their ass, cleaning up their puke, and making sure they don't kill themselves by sticking their finger in a light socket or doing the stupid equivalent of anything else. That's your job as a parent. I'm sorry. They write these books, What to Expect When You're Expecting. Let me tell you what to expect when you're expecting. I'm going to sum it up in a one-page report. Expect life as you know it to be over. That's the bottom line. No more running with your buddies. No more running with your girls. No more hanging out drinking till 3 o'clock in the morning. Fucking done. You stay home, you care for that child, you raise that child the right way, and occasionally, when needs to be, you put your hand on that child's backside. Doesn't teach them violence, teaches them, one, who's in control, teaches them, two, there is a consequence to your actions. And if you're going to act a fool, I'm going to make a fool out of you. I can't tell you how many times in the store as a kid, if I was acting up, my dad literally pulled my pants down in the middle of the store, warmed my backside up. And you know what hurt more? It wasn't the hand on the ass. It was the fact that everybody in the store saw it. It was embarrassment. It was humiliating. And I didn't want to ever feel that again. It wasn't the hand on the backside. You know, I survived that. Stung a little bit. Didn't leave any permanent damage. No bleeding, no bruises. You know, everybody in the store saw it. And the worst part is, it wasn't like today. Back then, kids getting out of line, all the parents are looking at the parent with the kid going, "God, why don't you bust his ass?" They don't do that anymore, man. Now your kid's acting up, you're embarrassed as shit because everybody's looking at you like, is he going to touch him? Is he going to touch him? Because now they're waiting on you to touch him so they can call the cops. Because they're going to be the hero that got this child out of an abusive home. No, you just stop the parent from parenting. you idiot. Do I agree with child abuse? No. Do I agree with hitting a child in the face? Hitting a child? Do I agree with punching a child? No. I don't think any child should ever be punched. But I think an open-handed swat to the backside, or occasionally, my dad had the paddle. My dad worked with wood, man. He made a nice fucking oak. Alrighty then, for whatever reason, my phone decided to cut the video off at about 10 minutes. I wasn't done. My dad had one of those big, thick, redneck leather belts. And let me tell you, that thing came up, had a meeting with my ass a couple of times too. Not often, it was usually his hand, but it kept things in perspective, man. I didn't ever want that thing up against my ass. So I agree with you 100%. We need to get back to that, but it's more than that. And for these people, that are going to say, oh, well, my child has ADD, I agree with it. I'm an adult with ADD. I'm raising twins with ADHD. And if anybody wants to give me any fucking heat over the reality or the illusion, discussion for another day, I think there is a place in the home and in the discipline structure for medication for children with those types of problems, for counseling with those types of problems, and there's even a time and place for timeout, for go to your room. However, there is a time, a place, and a necessity for once in a while popping your kid on the ass to get their attention, to let them know, hey, I'm in charge, not you. I'm TattsDeej for Foreign Rage. I agree with you 110%, and I'm out.